years, Wendy Williams, I would say more Wendy at the moment. I'll get to Jareth in a minute. For the past 3 years, Wendy Williams has been, nothing petite about her. Wendy Williams has been scamming various people on the app. She has been using her children to gain free holidays paid for them. She's used her children and made out her children have multiple food dietaries or allergies or bowel problems to get money sent in for her. She refuses to go to a food bank for this reason. She asks for people to send her money in PayPal. Multiple people have sent her money for hotels, money for food, money for things. They bought stuff off her wish list. She then disappeared off the app for 6 months when a lady called Katie, not our Kate here, but a lady called Katie outed her. If you go onto my profile, you'd be able to see her profile. There's the first 3 videos that are pinned on her account are them. Stop. Sorry, my partner. That's my partner. Stop it, please. Yeah, you're gonna make Kate laugh. Yeah, she then returned back in October with asking people to buy her off her wish list various items for her children for their birthdays. She claimed she couldn't afford anything for her children's birthdays. So a lot of people went on, they bought things like toys, night lights, sweets, everything. She then persisted after getting stuff bought for her son's birthday. She then persisted to say that she didn't have a food shop. So a lady called Becky had actually sent her a food shop for Christmas. We do have all the evidence of that. But this lady, Becky, has actually sent them over £4,000 worth of stuff. It was added up yesterday as a total of £4,000. That's including wish list stuff, food shops, a new freezer. What else did she buy? Them a bed. She bought all the children's stuff. She bought them portable speakers. She bought everything they needed. Everything she said she paid for. Now, Wendy and Jareth owe this lady, because out of £4,000, an air fryer, microwave. Sorry, Becky.
Table.
The original Becky is in the chat. She's the one that sent them this. Out of all of £4,000, Becky only asked for £1,700 back. Now that was for when Wendy Williams voice noted Becky crying, trigger warning, saying she would end it all if she couldn't pay the car's MOT, the car battery, the car call out for obviously people to come and collect the car, the gaming PC for her son, after Wendy claimed that her son had never had one before and she couldn't afford it. After Becky paid all of this out, including the Christmas food shop and snacks for the Christmas food shop, Wendy come onto live on Christmas Eve and cried, saying that she wished she could have bought her sons a Christmas dinner and given them the Christmas they want. So another lady in our chat called Emma2021 had sent them around £180 in 2 weeks to get them the food they needed for the Christmas food shop. And then within that week or two between Christmas Day and New Year's Eve, her son had to go to hospital. He had actually had a seizure. Jareth, they come on live, sorry, not Jareth. So they come on live while he was in the hospital, showing him in the hospital bed. She must have had about 100 people in her live at this point. They then said that they couldn't get home. They needed £75 to get a taxi. And people were saying that they couldn't afford it, or, you know, they were offering. I mean, she generally got this help for a taxi and snacks while at the hospital, which we've now proved that Jareth actually had the car. Anyway, after that, Wendy was on live and Jareth and Wendy had kicked off. Had an argument on live. Around 400 people were in this live at this point. We were all mods at this point in this chat. We were all mods at this point and it had kicked off. So she had him removed by the police. It then turned out that in that week she had him removed and his bail conditions where he couldn't talk to her, she had been messaging him. It then come across that she had announced that she was pregnant. I won't go into detail about that because we have our suspicions, but, you know, we haven't got the evidence of that. So that's just a hearsay. She then got him back. She dropped the charges. She got him back. We found out about her scamming. So we decided that, you know, we'd outed her for it. She had left our group chat. And then proceeded to come onto live, and Jareth Harrison then persisted to talk very, very, very in depth about their sexual life in front of a 7-year-old boy in the car. So we outed that at first. Then the lives got on and they started asking for money and hinting they needed food shops. Again, after we'd already outed them, we'd already exposed them, they'd gone onto the live continuing that we were just bullies and so on like that. You know, they then carried on talking sexual around the child, so we outed it again. He would make the child cry in the car when he had low views. They then started, once their viewers dropped, after we did an awareness live, their viewers dropped. So as their viewers dropped, they come onto live and they had said, oh, let's think of an argument we can do to get our viewers back. So they did. The next day they come on and they had a domestic violence dispute. Jareth had told the child off and took his tablet off him. It wasn't physical, but she made out that it was physical. She then persisted to stay on live the whole time they had an argument. She pointed out that she had 200 people in her live and that 200 people thought that he needs to leave. So she called the police. He was on live and she was on live. They called the police. She then persisted to the police officer that he had been violent to the children. The police officer confirmed that he'd never been violent to the children. And there was a massive conversation with the police officer. Basically, she had lied about Jareth to try and get him removed. Then the police officer said that he couldn't remove Jareth because it was obviously it's a private rent, but obviously he lived there too. She then got on the hump about it, and she carried on live. Like I said, she was still on live. She went into the kitchen and she started adding up the total of how much a taxi would cost. And people were in her comments at this point offering money. They'd already sent money to her. A lady had sent her money for top up to call the social worker. Yes, wasting police time. They've also openly admitted that her children are on a child protection plan because of Jareth's violence. Also, she has to go through a thing called a Clare's Law when men come into her property. She moved Jareth into her flat the same day she started talking to Jareth. She didn't tell Jareth she had children. One of these children are the reason why Clare's Law is because one of these children. I won't obviously mention that. She persisted to move him in. He was working for Tesco, we believe. He then left Tesco. He's on sick due to his mental health. That's why their financial, apparently their financial assets are so low. But we also want to state the fact that she got her universal credit and he got his sick pay. And within 3 days after having that money, they were back on here and asked one of their mods to borrow £100. Wendy clearly stated on the live that she asked this lady called Luby Lou. Jareth then turned around and said, but you've already got money. She said she hadn't. When Jareth said that he could show she had money, she admitted she had £100 in her bank, but she was more than happy to take £100 off another lady who had been in their lives. They've since come off the app because we did an awareness live 2 nights ago. We brought Wendy into our box. We pretended to be her friend. It was very hard being nice. It was very hard. We brought her into the live and we exposed her. We told her how it was. It was disgusting, fake and domestic violence for views. What they've been doing around that young boy is absolutely disgusting. And magically, he's now off the app and they are still together. But yeah, that is the the shorter story to all the evidence that we have and that we've sent up the Observer. But yeah, anyone else want to talk about it? Or anything I've missed? Is there anything I've missed?
His sick pay is just over 1,000. I know that for a fact.
Oh, it's still going on this one for me.
Yep.
Think an ice strip is needed.
That is the live on YouTube that the Observer put up, yeah.
I just think it's all sickening. I think it's so sickening.
We are very concerned about the boy, aren't we, really? We're very concerned about him.
But that's one rule that I have on this live.
Yeah.
We don't mention children's names.
No.
I won't.
But we do want to put out, we are very concerned about what he sees and what he hears. And what he,
it was
you know,
a few years ago, and when we was talking, he was boasting about being on the sick. Carry on, sorry, Christina. I was just reading that.
No, it's fine. I was just saying we are very concerned about what that child has to hear, and the fact that they both speak to that child very, very, very horribly.
I mean, you tell me, right, yeah, what man sits in a car, right, and says, your mum's under a lot of stress, right, so you can't misbehave. Bearing in mind this boy was only little at the time, right? And when you go upstairs, you've got to clean your room and then I will give you your tablet. Bearing in mind this child was crying at this time. And then Wendy was just stood there in the comments letting him talk to him like that.
Yeah. And it was all for the views that he made that boy cry.
Yeah.
He blamed that boy basically for them being evicted and Wendy's stress. We can't, I'm replying to Tony, we can't say anyone is at physical risk, but we are very worried about what the boys are having to witness now between them. Now they're not on live, airing it on live. The other night when they were live, it got very, very heated. She was very cocky, smiling at the camera while he was raising his voice. They have argued multiple times on live. We have sent the Observer all the videos. I think I'll have to try and find some more. We are just very worried about that boy. She's admitted that she cannot feed him. She's on live asking for money. Jareth is very, very, very horrible and verbal towards him. He doesn't get spoken to when he tries to talk to his mum. She just completely blanks him. And he is left in his room on his tablet majority of the time. But yeah, we're not ever worried he's ever been physically hit. It's more verbal.
What's sad is how Jareth feels that he, just because he's got his name living somewhere, that he has got parental rights over a child.
Yeah.
When he hasn't. And if you're in here, James, I hope and pray you go and watch my recent video. I hope and pray.
Sorry, can we also restate, because everyone's asking questions in the comments, can we also reinstate that he is on a child protection plan? So social services and the police are already aware and already involved. Tony, the location is Plymouth. I do have the address. If you would like it, I can send it to the Observer. If you want me to.
That's what I feel sorry for. I really feel sorry for that boy. Yeah. I do. Speak to you tomorrow, Emma.
I'll go find the address now and send it to the Observer, and then she can forward it to you. Give me a second.
It's just worrying, isn't it? It's so worrying.
Night, Emma.
Social services are clearly not doing their job properly as always. I think sometimes, Joe, if I'm totally honest, I think social services do play a good role. I think sometimes when they do their visits and stuff, parents blind them. Poor boy, only hope that he is taken away. I just hope that she becomes a better parent. If she ever could be. I can't, buddy, at the moment. Wendy says they're happy with them. Then they fall out and she says the social want him away from the kid. It worried me yesterday, right, the Observer, how, when they were live, right, she turned around and stated that social services has made it very clear that Jareth is not allowed to be left alone with the two boys on his own. That's what worried me yesterday.
I have sent the Observer the address, Tony, on WhatsApp.
The social are so stretched and parents can play a good role when needed. Indeed. Thank you for the rose.
Oh, no worries. They are very good at lying and manipulating the social worker. Jareth actually leaves the property when social services come to the flat. He leaves the property. Oh, thank you for the rose. You didn't need to. The fear on her face when he said, but that wasn't real fear, Sarah. That was her putting it on for the cameras. You saw her in the box the other night when she put her face on and said, oh my God, what's he doing? But before that, she told him to walk the dog.
Yeah.
So she knew what he was doing, but because she had us in her box, she thought this was her opportunity to play it more. And it wasn't. This was our opportunity to finally out her. And that's why we started off nice, because we needed to get her in there. Yeah, if you just request, we can put you in the box, Tony. But no, it was staged. It was, and everyone in that live fell for it, and that's what she wanted. Me and Kate knew what she was going to do, because the day before she clearly stated that she had no views anymore because of what we had done, and that they needed to cause an argument. But using fake domestic violence like that and around the children for them to hear was absolutely disgusting. You do not allow children to see that, whether it is real or whether it is fake. You do not allow a child to witness that.
No, you don't.
No, Jareth is not allowed to be alone with them children. That is correct, Kelly. He is not allowed to be alone with them children. Also, the sons are not allowed to share a room legally. We don't know the information, and we wouldn't say why even if we knew, because once again, it is children. Wendy did smash up the flat around her. No, it wasn't around her children. He was out. The oldest one was there, yes, but she did smash up the flat. She also broke down the bedroom locks. Yeah, we are aware of both of their violence towards each other. We can't never confirm, though, that there's ever been violence towards them children. That is one thing that we can't confirm. We are just very worried emotionally about that child, from what we've seen on lives, and from Wendy's perspective of the fact that she has for the past 3 years chosen men over her children, is something to be very worried about, especially with some of the stuff that she has told us, which the Observer already knows anyway.
I mean, she's meant to do a Clare's Law on every single person that's around her children.
Yeah.
Every single person, right? Her and Jareth split up in January, right? Was it 3 people, Christina?
3 people she had 3 people in that flat.
She had 3 people around her flat, right? And did not do a Clare's Law on any of them. Jareth moved out, right, back to his mum's house, and that very night she had someone in that flat. She did not do a Clare's Law on none of them. Social services has made it clear she needs to do a Clare's Law on every single person, not just male, female too, that are around her children. She did not do that with them 3 men, what she allegedly slept with.
And we do have evidence of her saying this as well. We're not just making it up like she's stated. We do have evidence.
We've said time and time again, we will not come on a live platform and make ourselves look silly if we have not got proof. We have got proof of everything that we say.
Yeah. Also, Wendy Williams stated that the only reason why she has social services involved was because of Jareth, which we do not believe. We believe it is also for Wendy. They've also admitted on live to that Jareth and Wendy have both smacked that boy's hands. Now, there's no law against that, no. But still, they have still smacked that boy's hands. Just want to put that out there. But yeah, it's gotten very, very far now from when she first came on the app asking for money. She's now exposed that. She shows that poor boy to everybody. Everybody she battles, she brings him into the camera to say hi, even if he doesn't want to. If he's singing a song in the background, they tell him to be quiet.
Now, sorry, Christina, even if we knew the reason why they couldn't share a room, right, I would not be saying on a live platform they're children. I wouldn't speak about children like that, why they can or can't share a room. Even if I knew, I wouldn't be saying on a live platform. That isn't being horrible. I just wouldn't do that.
It's also for the safety of the child as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, the little boy can't seem to do anything. He makes too much noise. He's told to be quiet. He's told to go to his room. But then you've got when he doesn't go bed till 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night. They drive him around in the car late at night. He doesn't eat sometimes until 11 p.m. They sit on live multiple times, eating multiple meals while he's in the background not eating anything. They've been on live begging for Chinese takeaways, you name it. Clearly stating that they have no money for food. So they're eating Chinese and he's eating nothing.
What profile are you going on about? Jareth, you said, yeah?
Jareth.
Yeah. So, has that been sent in a group?
What do you mean? What's what been sent?
Sorry, I'm just asking the observer and...
sorry. I don't think he's in... I don't think he's in immediate risk if Jareth's not there.
So Jareth
if he's not there...
We believe Jareth
in
is
my
back
opinion,
there, yes. We believe
and
Jareth is
when he's there.
Has Jareth got a bad background? What's his...
What it was, his sister was unalived by somebody a fair few years ago, right? And since then, apparently, he's never been the same.
So he's got a lot of anger boiled up in him by the sounds of it, yeah?
Yeah.
And you reckon that's reflecting on the child?
Very much so. Very much so.
Yeah. Send it across straight into the group. And we'll look into it. I'll help you. Listen, the observer underneath me, if she says something to me, I will listen 100%. If she says she needs something done, and 100%, I will go on her word. I trust her 100%. There's no doubt about that. If you reckon there's a risk to this child, I will try to get everyone and anyone I can to back me to look into what you're saying.
I appreciate that.
Sorry, I just got a call. I had to hang up. Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry, I just had to hang up. Sorry.
They've already got a social worker. Yes, he has.
That threatened with us with violence, yes. Have come into our houses, no matter who stands in the way, yes.
There's a video on my page actually of him threatening us, saying that he was going to...
We have reported it to them, Claire, multiple times. It's not as easy as everyone thinks, reporting them and something being done straight away.
I apologise. When I got that call, it caused it to echo, yeah? If the observer sends everything to me, I 100% I'll back you. No doubt about it. If there is a child at risk there, I will back you. No doubt about it. And anything the observer sends to me, I'll look at it always. But I will back you. If the observer is involved in it, I will back you. No doubt about it. And that's a fact, yeah. So,
I mean, she's admitted on a live platform that this man who chucked her out of a car told him to leave her car, right? Telling people she's scared of him, she's petrified of him, all sorts of stuff. And then in the next breath, she's there going, "Oh, Jareth's back. We're back together." That isn't healthy for a child. That is not healthy at all.
He also admitted that he would remove a child out the car, didn't he, if needs be?
Yeah, his exact words were, "A child, an adult, an OAP, he does not care. They will be removed out of his car." That was his words. That is what he said. And he even stated that he spoke to the police, and the police turned around and said legally he is allowed to make Wendy leave the car.
Yeah. And she does antagonize him. She smiles at him. She laughs at him. When he's getting angry and he tries to leave the room to get out of the situation, she follows him. And she has physically kicked down the bedroom door locks to get to him and wind him up and manipulate the situation. And then she's come on live and said it's all him. It is a 50-50 between both of them. They are both as bad as each other. They are both violent to each other. And them children are stuck in the middle.
And then when we turned around and stated that we was going to get in touch with James, which was his dad, the child's dad, it was, oh, well, he doesn't care anyway. I'm not saying that he doesn't care. I'm just saying this is what was said. They've badmouthed the dad. They've said horrible stuff about that man. And as far as we're aware, right, as what we've seen, yes, Christina, he looks like he's a fantastic dad.
Yes, he does. And we have stated that multiple times. We have stated that.
He absolutely dotes on that child.
We would never slate you. You have nothing to do with this. All we want to do is make you aware of if you know what's going on. We do have a screen recording. If you go on to, I don't know whose profile it is, it's either mine or Kate's, and it does mention you in that screen recording of them talking about you, saying that you don't care if people turn up. Jareth was threatening our life, the men in our life, to say come to the flat, and we said we were going to message you, and she turned around and said that she didn't care, you wouldn't care, which clearly you do. You can see how much you and that boy love each other. We're just sorry that you've had to find out through lives and posts on Facebook. We are sorry, and there's not really much you can do about it, because she, it's only when you see him and she can do what she likes, unfortunately. And yeah.
Hello. I've joined on. Just let me know not to or not. But if we're are we expressing concerns and stuff like that about the child?
Yeah.
Or am I allowed to say what I know and stuff like that?
Yeah.
As long as I'm careful.
Don't say no names, please.
The 2 occasions I have put them in my comments, though I'm not too sure if they're being filtered. There was all them times that she's turned around and said how scared she is of him, what he's done with stuff that's gone on with the kids and that. But then a few days later or whatever, she's on a ferry going out somewhere, and people are like, "Where's the kids?" And she's like, "Oh, they're at home with Jareth." It's like, why are you leaving your kids alone with somebody that you're scared of? And then
also to the point that she's not even meant to leave them with Jareth.
Yeah. Then there was the other one that night. I think it might have been the last live that I watched of her. As far as I know, surprisingly, the kids were in bed and they were like, "Oh, I think the dog wants to go out for a wee." So they've left the house. They're out with the dog. And I put in the comments, "Where are the kids?" And Wendy went dead quiet, started whispering something to Jareth, and then ended the live instantly. And I was like, who had the kids? Where were they? That was a major concern with me. And then there's everything else that I know, but I'm not going to say too much just in case, I drop anyone in it or whatever.
Do you know one person, Christina? Do you agree if we try and get Sarah in the box?
Yeah, of course. I haven't. No.
Do you want to kick me out just in case that other lad wants to come back in?
Okay, then.
Yeah, okay.
Jane, I'm just going to say, I've seen you a few times asking who's who and who's what. It's Wendy Williams and Jareth Harrison.
Sarah, do you want to come in the box? For anyone that doesn't know, Sarah is Wendy's cousin.
Yeah.
I don't know if she wants to come in the box. I'll invite her. If you don't want to come in, just click me off. No, she doesn't want to come in. It's okay.
for her coming in, isn't it? She's not
Oh,
aware.
I think
She's changed her phone.
she might want to hang on. There we go.
And that concerns it with Jareth is the fact that he does have a very big voice,
Yeah.
and he does shout over people, and he's very over. He was too scared to even speak to Jareth.
Yeah.
You said how scared he looked. He didn't want to tell Jareth what was wrong with him. And we all know that little children will always say their problems because their parents are their safe space. And obviously for you to describe how scared he looked in the back of the car was also very worrying, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, go on. I'll let you talk to Sarah.
This is, for people that's in here, this is Wendy's cousin. Right, what's your opinion, Sarah, if you don't mind saying?
Like I said on the last live, I don't like her. Never liked her. And I always found something, I don't know, off about her. And every partner she's had, she's always used them for money.
Yeah.
When she started talking to my Auntie Jean, which is her mum, and then out of the blue, she stopped talking to her. And then back talking to her, borrowed money off her, buggered her off again. And then she would, obviously, I would see, this was about a year ago, so my son was 1.
Yeah.
And we would meet up just so she could get out the house. Even then, she was complaining about how she didn't have money and stuff like that. So I would bring a picnic and stuff like that. And it's just, I haven't spoke to her in a while, but it just seems to be getting more and more lies and lies and lies after lies.
What's your opinion on Jareth?
Oh, I think he a conniving CUNT.
Yeah.
And he's very vindictive and controlling.
Yeah.
And what he said about him being able to tell the young boy off is ridiculous. Just because you're on the tenancy agreement doesn't give you permission to tell someone's child off.
I think that was a very manipulative tactic of Wendy's, though, because 2 days before that, she had clearly stated that he was allowed to discipline them. She'd given him permission, and then 2 days after, claims that he can't discipline them. Can we ask, just why observe a screen recording, and obviously we want to get everyone's opinions, especially people, family members wise, how